Hey everyone, happy weekend and welcome back to Doodling with Purpose. Let's jump in and learn some Second Middle Kingdom hieroglyphics. All right, so as we've been starting off the last many lessons, we're going to start with the homework from last week. And as always, the first thing you should do is transliterate it, and then we'll translate it, because, if you do it in reverse, then it can get a little tricky. All right, so here we have all of the sounds and the sound complements drawn in. And remember, this part of the class, it's important to add those complements so we know the difference between a D and a J. All right, and we're going to start off again with IW, which is our signpost telling us we're going into the past, followed by a common verb we've used a lot, which is ma'a, to see. And again, I'm trying to, do a lot of repetition here with verbs so that we don't get caught up and learn new vocabulary. Then we have our water sign, which is the ED to see, so it changes see to saw. I mean, I know saw doesn't have an ED, but it's past tense. And who did the sawing? Well, the seeing, the king. So instead of a pronoun, we have the word the king. Remember, there's no articles in Egyptian, so no the. All right, and that's followed by a word from last week, ta'a, which is vizier, like Jafar from Aladdin. He's the vizier for the king. And whose vizier is it? It's his vizier. We have the horned viper, the pronoun his, followed by a verb from 2 or 3 lessons ago, reading. So we have should, followed by another D. So we will cross off that second D. We got a determinative. Then the word in, which the word in is by, like by something. It's a preposition. And then the word wa'at, the road, or a road. Again, no prepositions. So the full sentence would be, the king saw his vizier reading by the side of the road, or a road. His road? Could be. Well, no, it's a road. The road. All right, let's move on to this week. So first off, we've got a brand new bilateral glyph. So what we're drawing here is an ancient Egyptian harpoon, for throwing at rabbits, because that's how you hunt rabbits in ancient Egypt. Just kidding. It was for hunting crocodiles and other fish. All right, we'll get to the rabbit soon enough. This is wa, and remember the A with the upside down parentheses is pa, like palm. I know it's very similar to other ahs, but hey, ancient Egyptian differentiated. So here's a word with it. We have ah followed by another ah and a stroke line. Now this stroke line is a rare time when the stroke line actually is the determinative. And that's because this is the word for one or only. Not one meaning a numeral, but more one as being alone. So you remember from our numerals, a stroke line can mean 1, and a upside down horseshoe is 10. So horseshoe plus 4 stroke lines is 14. That's how the Egyptian numbers work, and we'll do another lesson on that coming up. So let's take a word we know and love, hunkut beer, with that weird silent N. It's just one of those weird words. And if we were to put, say, 13 at the end of it, you might say, oh, that's 13 beer, but it's actually, we would put the number before the noun. So in order to have 13 beer, we put it first. But in the case of describing a person, the person goes first. So it's man, or king or whatever, followed by only. So this would be the only man versus 13 bottles of beer. So numbers go first, descriptions go second when it comes to hieroglyphics. And in this case, the number is a description. Here's another one with our lovely harpoon for hunting rabbits. Harpoon, open hand, chick. So that would be wa'a'au. And an interesting one because, it's an interesting reflection. And obviously the second A is canceled out, but that third A isn't because you can only cancel one. You don't cancel both. So it's W-A-A-W, wa'au, which is solitude. I guess kind of like one. One person has solitude. Hey, see how they all relate? All right, next we have wuj. And remember how I said the difference between D and J? That's because D without the dash line is a D, with it is a J, like j or j, like bijou, or from French, the word for jewel. All right, so jeet, we have DJ, followed by Y, followed by T. And now look at this determinative. We've seen this before, right? The walking person or the walking legs. We've seen this in a few words, like pert, which is the word for procession. Could be a great procession, or nimit, journey or formal journey. So yes, this determinative means moving, and this is the word expedition, as if you were sending an expedition on a journey with a procession. So you could use all 3 words in one sentence. Funsies. All right, this is an interesting word because we have the WJ, druj, and then the W is really just there is because you kind of have to say an extra W. Would you it just kind of comes out. But it's not always, when you have a W at the end, it's not always written out. It's more to help with pronunciation. All right. See, I told you we were going to get to a rabbit. So here we have win, which is the rabbit. Now, it's actually kind of a fun one to draw. I'm going to show you. We start with the front leg in this case. Then we go up and we do the snout, the face. Now we do one of the ears and then do the back, come around, up for the second leg, and then connect. And now we're going to add a little tail pointing down. And then the second ear, either in front or before the last one, you just sort of double it. And that's how you do the rabbit. Give him a little eye. So you can do the second ear in front or behind. And so here we have an interesting word because we have win, followed by N, followed by NW, followed by T, and then two determinatives, the sun and the stars. So that's probably your hint that we're talking about some kind of time-esque night thing, and in this case it's hour, the word hour. And you'll notice that the reflection, the echo effect, that N in the middle between WN and NW gets canceled out. All right, homework for this week. Tried to use a lot of the words from this week's vocabulary and sprinkled in some older ones you may know and love, or maybe jog your memory about. As always, let me know any questions, any comments, and in the comment section. I'm always happy to answer. Thank you for joining me on another Doodling with Purpose adventure. We'll be back next week with more fun, and if you like this video, do share it with others. It's the best way to support this channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next lesson. Thanks for being part of the class.